Führer Ugly, the monster born of resentment. Führer Ugly's story is one of transformation, driven by deep-seated hatred. Originally an unattractive human, his bitterness and jealousy toward those he deemed more beautiful fueled a monstrous metamorphosis. This resentment twisted him into a cruel and sadistic being who reveled in the suffering of others, particularly those he envied. His sadism manifested in his combat style as he took pleasure in humiliating his opponents, using his acid-coated attacks to inflict maximum pain. Führer Ugly became a formidable foe during the Monster Association arc, clashing with some of the strongest S-Class heroes. He engaged in brutal battles against heroes like Super Alloy, Darkshine, Atomic Samurai, and Bang, leaving a trail of injured warriors in his wake. His acid attacks were particularly devastating, capable of melting through even the toughest defenses. However, Führer Ugly's arrogance and growing aggression created tension not only with the heroes, but also within the Monster Association itself. His fellow monsters, Black Sperm and Golden Sperm, grew resentful of his domineering attitude, eventually turning against him in a betrayal that foreshadowed his downfall. Führer Ugly's end came during the climactic battle at the Monster Association headquarters. After surviving multiple skirmishes, he found himself facing a defeated Bang, whom he intended to finish off with a final lethal strike. But before he could deliver the killing blow, Garou, now empowered and far stronger, intervened. Moving at an incredible speed, Garou landed a devastating kick that pierced straight through Führer Ugly's body. The injury was catastrophic, and Führer Ugly, shocked and helpless, began to melt away due to his own acidic mutation. His body disintegrated completely, marking a fittingly gruesome end for a monster born of hatred. Boros, the cosmic conqueror in search of a challenge. Boros, the leader of the Dark Matter Thieves, was a space pirate whose power was unmatched across the universe. A tall, cyclops-like alien with light pink, spiky hair and a single large eye, Boros was a force of nature. He wore restraining armor to control his overwhelming strength, but when this armor broke, his true form was unleashed, a monstrous figure with exposed muscles and glowing energy markings. Boros had conquered countless planets, but his immense power left him unfulfilled. Like Saitama, he yearned for a worthy opponent, a desire that led him to Earth in search of a real fight. In battle, Boros proved to be Saitama's most formidable opponent at that point in the series. He possessed speed and strength far beyond any other enemy Saitama had faced, capable of moving at incredible velocities and unleashing massive energy blasts that could obliterate entire cities. In one astonishing display of power, Boros kicked Saitama to the moon, a feat that showcased his otherworldly might. However, despite his dominance, Boros was no match for Saitama's true power. When Saitama unleashed a serious punch, Boros's body was completely destroyed, unable to regenerate from the catastrophic damage. Though defeated, Boros died satisfied, having finally experienced the challenge he had sought for so long. Gums, the gluttonous behemoth. Gums was a monstrous creature defined by its insatiable hunger. A massive, gluttonous being with an enormous mouth and no discernible facial features beyond its gaping jaws, Gums had little intelligence beyond its primal desire to consume. During the Monster Association arc, Gums clashed with S-Class hero Pig God, another gluttonous fighter, in a battle of sheer appetite. Gums also targeted Tank Top Master, nearly overpowering him with its relentless attacks. Pig God attempted to intervene multiple times, but Gums's hunger made it a persistent threat. Gums's rage was triggered whenever its meals were interrupted. This anger led to a fatal mistake when it attempted to eat its own teammate, Führer Ugly, after Bang forced it to spit out Genos. In a brutal turn of events, Führer Ugly tore through Gums from the inside, ripping its body apart. Gums's regenerative abilities were overwhelmed, and it perished. Its remains later consumed by Pig God in an ironic twist of fate for the monstrous eater. Genos, the cyborg disciple's tragic end. Genos, a cyborg and Saitama's devoted disciple, had a tragic backstory that fueled his quest for strength. After his hometown was destroyed by a powerful cyborg, Dr. Kuseno rebuilt him into a machine of immense power. Genos dedicated himself to growing stronger and seeking the one responsible for his past tragedy, all while idolizing Saitama and studying his techniques. Despite his admiration, Genos struggled to comprehend the source of Saitama's overwhelming power. During the Monster Association arc, Genos faced his most devastating defeat at the hands of Garou, who had attained Cosmic Fear Mode, a state granted by the mysterious entity known as God. Despite knowing the immense power gap, Genos refused to back down, charging at Garou with full force. Garou countered with brutal precision, overwhelming Genos with a single strike. In a horrifying moment witnessed by Saitama, Garou plunged his hand into Genos' body, ripping out his core, the cyborg's heart and power source. As Genos' lifeless, mangled body fell from the sky, sparks and fluids poured from his damaged remains, marking his tragic end. Tank Top Master, the hero of unshakable belief. Tank Top Master, an S-Class hero, was a towering, muscular man with short, dark blonde hair and brown eyes. He held an unusual belief that true power stemmed from wearing tank tops, a conviction reinforced when he observed Bang dominating Metal Bat in a sparring match, and concluded that Bang must have a tank top hidden underneath. Despite his eccentric belief, Tank Top Master was one of the the physically strongest heroes, capable of lifting and throwing massive objects like buildings and debris with pinpoint accuracy. During the Monster Association battle, Tank Top Master fought alongside other S-Class heroes but was overwhelmed by Führer Ugly and Gums. Führer Ugly crushed both of his arms, leaving him vulnerable, and Gums delivered the fatal blow, biting down on him and crushing him to death before swallowing him whole. Tank Top Master's demise was a brutal reminder of the overwhelming power of the Monster Association's forces. Zanbai, a skilled swordmaster and member of the Council of Swordmasters, was a bald man with light eyes and scars crisscrossing his head and face. When the heroes attacked the Monstrous Association, Zanbai fought alongside fellow swordmasters like Nichiren, Spring Mustachio, and Amahare. His exceptional swordsmanship shone as he faced the overwhelming Black Sperm clones, his speed and precision allowing him to slice through multiple enemies with ease. As the battle intensified, Führer Ugly appeared in a grotesque, mutated form, coated in corrosive stomach acid that made him even more lethal. After witnessing Superalloy Darkshine severely injured by the acid, Zanbai warned his comrades to avoid engaging Führer Ugly without weapons. Undeterred, Zanbai courageously charged at the monster, sword in hand. However, Führer Ugly caught the blade effortlessly, and the acid on his body melted it instantly. Before Zanbai could react, Führer Ugly spat acid directly onto his head, burning through his skull and killing him on the spot. Zanbai's death was a tragic end for a fearless warrior whose skill and bravery were no match for the monster's overwhelming power. His sacrifice highlighted the brutal cost of the battle against the Monstrous Association. Pureblood, the arrogant vampire. Pureblood, also known as Vampire, was a natural-born monster within the Monster Association who viewed himself as superior to his peers. He despised the other monsters, whom he considered fakes, and often targeted weaker ones as food sources. During the Hero Association's attack, Pureblood prepared to fight Zombieman, an S-Class hero known for his undying resilience. Hanging from the ceiling, Pureblood boasted of his power, intending to kill both Zombieman and the other monsters watching the fight. The battle was intense. Pureblood bit Zombieman's carotid artery but recoiled at the hero's terrible tasting blood. Zombieman retaliated with powerful bullets, breaking his own arms in the process, while Pureblood threw the bullets back. However, Zombieman's regenerative abilities outmatched Pureblood's, and after a grueling 30-minute fight, Zombieman emerged victorious, standing over Pureblood's bloody corpse. The vampire, shocked at Zombieman's endurance, died having inflicted 200 lethal wounds, a testament to the hero's unyielding nature. Fukugao and Marugori. A tragic partnership, Fukugao was a brilliant but arrogant scientist who created the Biceps Brachii King steroid, a drug that transformed his younger brother Marugori into a massive giant. Fukugao's cruel and power-hungry personality drove him to orchestrate destruction, but he never used the drug himself, valuing intelligence over physical strength. Marugori, under the steroid's influence, grew to the size of a skyscraper, easily demolishing buildings and killing thousands. Fukugao, perched on his brother's shoulder, urged him to continue the rampage. When Saitama appeared on Marugori's other shoulder, Fukugao panicked and ordered his brother to kill the hero. In a tragic misunderstanding, Marugori slapped the wrong shoulder, crushing Fukugao instantly. The scientist's death was an ironic twist, killed by the very weapon he had created in his quest for power. Homeless Emperor, the fallen savior. Homeless Emperor's descent into villainy began after losing his job and everything he held dear, leading to bitterness and a belief that humanity had ruined the planet. As he contemplated, the entity known as God granted him immense power, which he used to pursue his goal of wiping out humanity as a self-proclaimed savior. Despite his confidence, he secretly feared being powerless, an insecurity that made him wary of other monsters discovering his true nature. His end came swiftly when Zombieman pinned him down, demanding answers about his powers. Before he could respond, God transported him to a strange realm and stripped him of his abilities, causing his body to disintegrate. Zombieman could only watch as Homeless Emperor vanished, his grand ambitions reduced to nothing. Carnage Kabuto, the unstable creation. Carnage Kabuto, a dragon-level threat created by Dr. Genus of the House of Evolution, was a massive mutant with a rhinoceros beetle-like appearance. Despite his intelligence, his mental instability and violent nature led Dr. Genus to keep him locked away. When Saitama and Genos attacked the House of Evolution, Carnage Kabuto was released as a last resort. Sensing Saitama's strength, Kabuto hesitated but ultimately fought, overpowering Genos with ease. In his Berserk Carnage mode, Kabuto became even more monstrous, unleashing a brutal assault on Saitama. However, when Saitama realized he had forgotten a supermarket sale, he ended the fight with a single punch, obliterating Kabuto's head and upper body in an instant. The Paradise Group, a failed revolution. The Paradise Group, led by Hammerhead, was a terrorist organization aiming to create a society where work was optional, using stolen battle suits to gain superhuman strength. They caused chaos in F-City, targeting the mansion of Zeniru, a symbol of inequality. Though they defeated police forces and Moomin Rider, they were stopped by Speedo Sound Sonic, Zeniru's body bodyguard, who eliminated all members except Hammerhead. Saitama later destroyed Hammerhead's suit with a single punch, forcing him to abandon his cause. Gorobas, the indecisive warrior. Gorobas, a dragon-level alien general of the Dark Matter Thieves, was a formidable warrior under Boris's command. Despite his terrifying appearance, he had a goofy personality, unable to decide which attack to use against Saitama. Boasting of his acid breath and combat techniques, Gorobas prepared to fight, but Saitama B. Unions beheaded him with a single punch before he could act. Eyesight and Sky King. Swift demises. Eyesight, a monster with paralyzing venom, attacked Y City during a monster raid. After surviving an explosion, she transformed into a more monstrous form, but was devoured whole by Pig God, ending her rampage. Sky King, ruler of the Sky Folk, launched an energy attack on the Hero Association headquarters, but was swiftly killed by Melzergard, an elite warrior from Boros's invasion force, along with his subordinates.